Hello and welcome back. This is for my Leos. What's up, boots? Let me tell you, I love my Leos. And your energy is just fire, man. So whatever you're doing, keep doing it because it's working, right? This is going to be essentially, I'm going to pull kind of what's going on, guidance, get some clarifications, and then I'm going to pull some what you need to work on for your gifts, right? And we're just going to see what comes out in the message and what you need to hear and really just roll with it. It's this energy is wild because some signs are taking it and they're rolling with it and they're grinding, right? They're maximizing this energy pool, right? Because the truth is we've been in this kind of preparation mode, right? We've been constantly putting this one foot in front of the other. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm already starting. So just FYI, for those of you that don't know, please open your feet chakra and see golden roots go into the core of the earth, ground your energy, and pull up that Gaia energy into your chakra system and open your crown, so that way we can allow those energies that want to be released to actually be released, right? For those of you that don't know, I am an energy healer. I am not a tarot card reader. I read actual energy. I read timelines, and although timelines are accelerating and we're never in the same paradigm due to the vibration that you're operating out of, that's what I do, right? Some people can memorize cards and can tell you, oh, da-da-da and dee-dee-dee. I can do that too, but honestly, it doesn't bring me joy. And there's better things I can do with my time, which is healing and which is actually creating lasting impact, right? Getting your neurons to fire and rewire in a particular way. So we're just going to get right into it, right? Somebody has really been patiently birthing this brand new cycle, this desire of what it is that you want to come through, right? And it's been an interesting battle, being in really all of that. Sorry guys, I said yes. Wow, that's a lot. Okay. So we're just going to roll with it, right? Because for me, I listen to my guides, because frankly, you don't tell angels no. It's just the way it works. It is what it is, right? So the thing is we've been healing. We've been healing these inner wounds, these complex vibrations of being in the world but not being of the world, right? And as a master 33, Leo, you know that better than anybody, right? Because it's interesting. They're kind of showing me you being a forerunner, right? A forerunner for this strength energy. And it almost feels wow, that's, can I say that? So the people, I'm just going to say G, right? And you're going to know what that comes to. These people that make laws, that these people that essentially create roadblocks, right? That create suppression. They've been essentially attempting to keep you down. For whatever reason, there's been a lot of loopholes and a lot of chains that you've had to break in these contingencies, in these claws to birth this brand new cycle, this dream, this desire, this integration of the new you. Wow. Somebody also is trying to impede you like a fly. Because truthfully, I'm up here in a space where there are no windows that are open, and this little dude should not be up here, straight up. He shouldn't be floating around. So you could literally be having these little flies in your space, in your progression, really impeding your movement forward, right? Trying to keep you annoyed, in all honesty, and just creating red tape where there should be no red tape, right? It's almost like things have already been played out. The things in your life have already been discussed, have already been drawn out, is what they're showing me. They're showing me contracts that have already been stated, that have been already written, alleviated, pre-existing. And what they're showing me is that these fake ass people, who are essentially snakes, right? Like they have this demonic snake attachment to them, have been creating these roadblocks and these impediments, hoping that you would give up, hoping that like their negative vibration would essentially cause you to stop. But the truth is it's you allowing yourself, like this is really interesting, right? Because right here, this is an umbaro, right? Or ubero, depending on where it comes from in history. And so this is a snake eating itself. It's essentially the regeneration of like your death and rebirth cycle, like in this new phase, in this desire of what it is that you're launching, right? And so what it did is it like allowed you to be love, but it allowed you to not take any shit. It allowed you to be in your masculine and your feminine, your yin and your yang. There is full divine balance. And I'm hearing, like quite loudly actually, that like you needed that time and those lessons, those agitations to integrate in your masculine and feminine energy. It's almost like these people, without even realizing it, they were trying to make you give up. But instead what it did was it strengthened the bond between your softness and your willing to execute. And you did it through this playfulness, in understanding that all the lessons that I am encountering are in fact from past life. The people that are rubbing me like sandpaper, the people that are attempting to create these roadblocks, I know that they've done this, and it's almost like somebody opened up your book of life, your Akashic records, and allowed you to read it, or you learned how to integrate your Akashic records and your lessons, right? And you are the divine creator. And whether or not you did that through meditation, you did that through getting a mentor, you did that through like cultivating a relationship with the higher self, with the creator source energy, like you, or angelic realm, right? They're like, hello, we're here, or divine order, right? And if you don't know, like you can ask your guides, like how many wings I have, and you're going to get a number. It's going to be either a 2, a 4, or a 6, right? And for those of you that are soul fragments of angelic beings, like it's quite simple. And it's like a lot of people that I've met actually have like already tattooed wings on them, and it's because you're connecting to the higher self of who you are, right? And so what happens is as you're going internal, what you're doing is you're allowing your cosmic wheel to actually change, to rotate, to really allow the ships that you need to come in, right? And now you're starting to understand why you've been isolated, right? Why it's interesting because they're telling me that your feminine energy almost felt quite bipolar, like you were uber sensitive and you didn't know why. And for a lot of masculine energies, right? And women can hold a lot of masculine energies. It entirely just depends on the way that your life is reflected within your own being, right? And so like what I'm getting is your feminine energy didn't know how to commingle and to be actually in balance. It was like every time it would get triggered, they're saying that it's because the feminine energy had been constantly suppressed and constantly put down, right? And so to be in feminine energy is, for guys, it's usually like, oh yeah, you're such a pussy. Like, why are you always crying, right? Not to be frank. I mean, it's just what it is. Because in truth, our society is so ass backwards that like they think that it's not okay for a guy to be sensitive. And in truth, like, you being sensitive just means that you're a starseed, that you're an indigo, right? That you're empathic, you feel people's energy. And the same thing with the divine feminine, right? Like, something happened to where, like, there was a violation in your own energetic field that caused your feminine energy to be expressive. And when it was expressive, it was told you're being dramatic, right? Stop being over dramatic. Why are you blowing it out of proportion, right? And so it allowed you that time to really kind of reintegrate your inner child. It's almost like you did the last little bit of work for whatever reason. There could have been a trigger. There could have been somebody that you met that caused you to do that last little bit. And so now you're coming out of isolation, right? And what are you getting into is my question. Yeah, you've been in the Akashic Records. Like, this is my Akashic Records card. And like through being in this point of feeling confined, of feeling detached, of being in a remote location, however you took that time to breathe in and to reconnect with self, it literally allowed your cellular structure, your DNA structure, to repair itself, so that way you're no longer operating out. Yeah, it's like you connected to, like, Jesus, you connected to ascended masters, you connected to Kuan Yin, you connected to, like, everybody that sits on your elder council, right? I've got goosebumps all up and down my right side, and my ear is like ringing. So by you taking that time out and you reconnecting with self, it allowed you the space to integrate to what you needed. So now what's going to happen with those people who have been creating roadblocks with you, yeah? Something's going to happen in the winter, or it did happen in the winter, in 9 to 12 months. There is going to be a self-mastery energy. And, you know, the worries and fears and anxieties are literally they're going to get eclipsed out. Like, it's almost like these people are all of a sudden going to retire. These people are all of a sudden going to disappear off the face of the earth, right? There's going to be a lot more people that are working out of dark energies that are just going to drop dead. Their hearts are literally going to explode, and they're going to drop dead. And it's coming. I don't even know when the next eclipse is, but you may want to look at it. It's probably happening in the next 9 to 12 months. And what that's going to do is it's literally going to open you up to allow you to step in. It's like a slingshot. It's like you're literally turning in. It's funny because they always show me Annie Oakley with this card. It's like, it's a wild, wild west. It's the frontier of, like, here, let me show you da 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 da, right? And so you're going to get slingshotted forward to the point where you are going to get your heart's desires. It's like, so how they just said, like, take time to ask yourself, like, what is my truth? What is my actual desire? What is it? And you got both karmic wheels. You got wheels all over the place, yo. But, you know, where is it that you feel like you've been a lone wolf, right? Where do you feel like you are running out of time, right? Where have you been lying to yourself about what it is your heart's desire? Like, what is your true wish fulfillment? And those are the things that you have to start asking yourself, right? Because, like, the truth is like, we, as 33s, we have a tendency, number one, we're all really sensitive in different ways, in different facets, but we're all extremely empathic. A lot of us are indigos, because the fact of the matter is I talk to my soul tribe. I don't talk to the previous soul tribe, right? Like, I don't talk to people that are older in my demographic. I talk to my demographic. And because the truth is like, we incarnated in this life path for a reason. We did it together. You know, are there 33s that are in the older group? Absolutely. But I believe that we enter into a wave of a collective to really change the vibration of the planet. And that's how I look at this whole thing, right? And so the question is, and you have to think too, like, there are true twins out there, and they gap anywhere from, like, I'd say 15 years to the most that I've met a gap is 25 years. And so like the truth is like your twin and you are essentially shifting that entire vibration of that collective. I don't know why that came in, but it just did. Maybe somebody asked, maybe somebody's looking into a crystal ball, right? Trying to think. So where was I? So there could very well be a lot of thinking, right? A lot of contemplating, a lot of like looking back at the past of how you lived in a state of fear, of the root chakra of your security, of your foundational security being impeded by those that wanted to keep you trapped in fear, right? Because the truth is like a lot of 33s are coming to the realization of this. Even if our families are dysfunctional, we love them from a distance, right? But the fact of the matter is they are overtaken with so many dark energies and so much of a gravitational pull to DNA lineage that they were unwilling to break their patterns, right? They were not the way shower of the family, but what they did give you were the gifts and the instillments of you being capable of coming and rising above your power. So although they had the ability to do this, they chose not to, right? And so as you come and you start awakening, wait, there was a card that was flipped out. That's a trip. Okay, thanks guys. It's like I started splitting the card and I'm like, there's one there. So like, although they had the abilities and the insight, they chose not to, right? It's almost like they lacked tools. They lacked practical applications because they chose to go back to sleep. I always say that about like the hippie movement, right, of the 60s. Instead, they could have been the phoenix, but they chose not to be the phoenix. So like the hippies, they did all these drugs and they took all these expansive things and they were all about like understanding the law of attraction and how to do this and how to do that and how to see beyond. But in actuality, the man swallowed them back up and they went to sleep, right? Like every single hippie, like even though they live out of their heart, even though they tried, right? Like they did not wake up the greater collective. Did the world change? It did. But in all honesty, could it have changed more? Absolutely. Right? And so all of it is about like you understanding like where is it you desire to go? How are the tools that you need to get to where you want to go? And then where are you actually holding yourself back and dragging your feet, burning time, right? Because like the truth is if you desire it, it will come. Like it's happening now. It's happening right now. Like the collective energy is actually in the process of transmutation, right? And I said this in another video, but like the one thing that 33s don't realize is the minute that you pop into your heart center and you're no longer in your mind, your ego is no longer running things, and you have gotten to the point where you can meditate for 40 minutes and you are no longer your ego. And you are no longer your thoughts. You are no longer the vibration that has been pushed onto you, and you are no longer your conditions. You then become nothing and no one. And then you become expansive and you can go through time and space, right? And that's Joe Dispenza. And when that happens, you then open yourself up to the possibilities of what could become. Right? And for every 33, for every light worker, for every higher vibrational being that is divinely connected, you can literally transform 100,000 people. Easy. Boom. From vibration alone, from sitting on your house, meditating, right? You project energy of love. You get into your heart center, you drop from head down into heart, and you literally see the vibration and the colors of purple and green going out of your aura, and see how far you can project it. Like literally give yourself a marker and say, I want to hit this place, and see if you can throw your energy that far and do it from a heart-centered conscious place and see everything transform at this rapid rate. It literally will open up. They just said grab the gateways, so we will grab the gateways because I listen to my team. They literally will allow you to transmute energy and to tap into a higher state of consciousness, right? And I didn't throw this for the other, but like, again, I listened. They said you need it, so I just do what I'm told. I am a conduit for my team, and it's for your ascension. It has nothing to do with me. I'm just the conduit, right? Yeah, it's really okay. Sorry. They said you have to do more meditation. Stepping into stillness, right? If you've never done like a Dr. Joe, like walking meditation, it is a process of stillness, of silence, right? And you're like walking, but you're not cognitively walking. Like you're checked out. You're just like in motion. You're essentially meditating while you're walking, right? And it's all about like seeing, I got goosebumps. Okay, so I'm going to say this and take it with a grain of salt, but like they're very adamant about me saying it. It's not only just about you balancing your masculine and feminine energy, it's about you making up with your twin. It's about you making up with your soulmate, or owning the fact of the thing that didn't happen, right? It's about you mending your bridge. And does that mean that you have to do it in front of them? No, because not everyone is going to be with their person, right? But what you can do is kind of do, like they're showing me like a Dear John letter. And you can literally do it as though they'd be sitting in front of you. And you just say, you say whatever you need to fully release them and to cut those ties. And I guess the reason why they're telling me to do it is because it is a full moon, right? Because you can say, I release you with light and love, with compassion and understanding. And I do that for myself, right? I do that for my masculine and feminine energy. And when you do that, sacral area, lower back, a right shoulder, throat, and right jaw. Please release. Come to the crown and be fully collected. And my guides will take you to the proper way station. Yeah, it's all about like, okay, spiritually you're sending a message, right? Like spiritually you're sending a message to your counterpart, saying that I am ready to renew my life, to declutter anything that is no longer serving me. This is people, places, and things. And I am exiting out of the divine matrix, right? Because I am the creator. I am the God, moving forward in this process, and nothing and no one is going to stop me. If anything, they're going to understand my divinity even more, and they're going to start accommodating because they know their role that they're playing, right? It's almost like the lion finally woke up and realized, holy shit, I'm a lion. Like, I am the alpha. I am the omega. Like, it's time for you to wake up and share your beliefs and share your insight and your true self with the world, right? Because that's going to help transform this collective. It's almost like you are an energetic gateway for them to come into their divinity, to understand that they are not part of the matrix. They are in the matrix, but they're not of the matrix, right? It's almost like the army cannot wake up until the leader says, hey, I'm leading and this is where we are going, right? If the leader never leads, then essentially you have a bunch of people who don't know shit. They don't know what to do. They're just sitting and looking until there's that one person that steps up and says, yo, like, we're doing this and this is how we're doing it. And tactically you're doing da-da-da-da-da-da-da, right? That's why they say it's not enough too many chiefs, not enough Indians, right? It's like it's in hindsight, it's mind focus. It's literally true north. I tell you, it's all about the balance of masculine and feminine energies. And for you to understand where people have been keeping you weak, keeping you stuck, keeping you... No, I'm not taking those. They need to come out of the middle, please. And I just want one. it's almost like they've been trying to keep you out of your, it's confusion. I'm sorry. It's confusion. It's confusion in sexuality. It's confusion in masculine energy. It's confusion in the identification of love, of self-love, of love of others. It's not allowing you to truly come into your own divine Christ consciousness, right? And it's really time for you to take a moment and understand that you are a battery, that you are really here to have a human experience and to allow yourself to forgive your inner child for the wounds that you experienced in this life, right? Because the truth is, you know, I know it sucks to think back at all the crap that you've had to experience in this life. And I'm not justifying any of that, right? Because I mean, I'm a 33. I picked a lot of shit ass lessons too. They just said flip it over so you can read it. But the truth is it's like coming to the understanding that you could not have gotten there. No. There, wherever you are, there. You could not have gotten there. It's funny, the way that they come out, the way they say it. You could not have gotten to where you're at right now if you wouldn't have gone through all those things, right? If you wouldn't have gotten a thick skin, if your ego wouldn't have stepped up and protected you and allowed you to put on that armor, you would have never gotten to where you are. You would have broke a long time ago. You know it and I know it, right? And so give homage and give reverence to the job that the ego's done. But now it's time for you to pull in that inner child and give him or her a hug and say, I will fully protect you moving forward and nothing and no one will ever hurt you again, right? And then allowing yourself to step into your divinity, because the truth is you are a God in that body. You have a soul fragment of a higher state of consciousness that others on this planet do not have. And so it is time for you to step out of the matrix and realize that 90% of the time you're the one who created that matrix and you can uncreate it at any given point in time, right? When you realize that you are Neo, that you can literally flip it on its ass, like it changes your perspective on so many things, right? The word, you kill them with kindness. You literally give so much kindness and so much gratitude and so much grace and so much love that the only way that the matrix can respond to you is by giving you exactly what you put out. And then you break it. So I'm going to leave that there. Is there a parting word that you want me to give? Guides. Okay. You want these or these? These, okay. Who can they call? Who can they call on? Who do you want the Leos to call on? Are you sure? Yeah, there's a new beginning happening. And so it's really about you coming into it. Take time to breathe, right? Understand you're coming to the end of the karmic cycle. It's very important when you get to the end of the karmic cycle and you can see all your parents as being karma. You see your family as being karma. I'm talking to those that have been ostracized out of their family that never fit in where they were at, right? You could feel and see people's thoughts and you knew what people were thinking. And the world told you that you were wrong, but in actuality, you were spot on, right? I'm talking to those people right now. And it's time for you to get in that prayer and that contemplation, right? Get into nature. I cannot say it enough because it's all about you tapping into your inner strength. Right? Bridge is a very, very powerful transmutator of energy. And so allow yourself to give reverence to the inner shaman, the inner transmuter, the inner alchemist that you are, right? And allow that door to literally open up into your new beginning, because you're literally right there. So I hope this found you well. If you do enjoy this content, please like it, subscribe, and help out another 33, right? Because the truth is we need to help each other rise, to break these chains, to really transmute the energy, because it's time for us to step into our divinity and our truth, and to no longer be in the shadows, right? It's time to just be right in front. And that's it. Ciao.